No, it's not about the trees. It's what lies in them. They make nests for aviteros.
The hell?
The hell are those? Those giant bird things. I thought you would know them. I would if I understood your names. Why are you giving new names to everything anyways? We dragons were here first. We've already established. I raised my hands to silence him, not wanting to make any unnecessary noise. He scowled, but a shrike quill started at his both. And what do you call that? Usually food. Well, that'll be us now. Perched on one of the tower lower branches was a reptilian bird with scales running down its front. The rest of the body was covered in earth-toned feathers. Though probably no taller than 4 feet, its extremely wide wingspan and sharp talons made it a fearsome animal to encounter in the wild. Wait, so if they're in a birch forest, how would a bird with very large wingspan fly through the trees? Just think about that. Like, it would have to walk if you're in a birch forest. I don't know about you, but the birch forests we have near my house, like, there's not like 7 feet between each tree, alright? There's like 3 at the most. Okay? And if it's 4 feet tall, that's some huge ass wings. Like, really. I smacked my desk. Antivirals raised a young way into the fall, so the mothers would be extra territorial this time of year. The bird ruffled its plume, making itself seem larger than it was, and prepared to launch itself at us. Hiya! Oh shit, what was that? Can I go back? How do I go back? What are the controls? How do I... Okay. How do I go back? With Kara's condition, whatever. I skipped a frame there, but you can just go back and pause it and read it. With Kara's condition, an instant retreat wouldn't work. I'd have to guard him.
Whoa!
What are you? You're not planning to fight it, are you? Yeah. Do we look like we have a toy? Look out! I shoved Kara off balance. Thanks to my quick reflexes, we narrowly avoid a slash from the Avitero's talons. The wind whipped at my hair as debris flew up around us. I scrambled to my feet and sprinted forward, hoping to keep the Avitero's attention away from Kara. I want to keep adding an N in that word, and it's throwing me off. As it dove towards me, I slashed upward. It veered away, dodging my counterattack. Kara, I'll keep it busy while you get away.
Bring it.
Bring it. Are you stupid? I'm not leaving you behind. Care? I need you to take me to that altar. Maybe if you shouted the directions at me, I could get there alone. I'm kind of busy here. I can't get my bearings in the middle of a battle. My aggravation was the incentive I needed to keep the Avitero at bay. However, my training had never covered aerial attacks, and the bird's scaly front was like armor. Are you holding back? Well, it's just protecting its young. It's trying to kill you. You think I haven't noticed? Oh, for the wings, clip them. It won't hurt it, but it'll stop it from flying. Just clip the tips. I widened my stance, and I prepared for another attack. The last second, I leapt to the side, slicing at an angle. My sword beautifully sheared the Avitero's thick plume primary feathers. The monster swerved into the ground, its shoulder and head bearing the brunt of the crash. Let out a cry, and I felt a split second of guilt that vanished with a yelp as the bird tried to tear me down with its talons. Luckily, the Avitero was designed for swooping down at prey rather than running on the ground, so we could only hobble awkwardly. As it screeched and futilely spread its wings, I retreated, grateful that it was even slower than Care. I wove through the trees until I finally gave up chasing me. The words it. Then, sighing in relief, I looped back and returned to Care, who was also at the distance. Looks like he gave up. But what about its young? It'll be fine. The feathers will grow back, and it can still hop back to its nest. The babies won't need to eat as constantly at this stage anyways. Thanks! You sure know a lot about them. Thanks for the suggestion. Tch! He snorted indignantly. I already told you, they're food. Of course I know about them. Soon the forest was quiet once again, with only the sound of our footsteps and the tap of Care's walking stick breaking the silence. Surprisingly, he did not protest when I suggested a safer route, nor when I walked nearly shoulder to shoulder with him. I had the feeling that starting a regular conversation would push my luck, so I kept my mouth shut and instead hoped for no more setbacks. And fade. This is it? Yeah. It's not very deep cave. It's simply take a turn and the altar is right there. That's it. No complex mazes, no shiny sacred magic lake with a guardian or anything. Hey, we did what we could. This is a modest altar. He took a deep breath and smiled reminiscently. I haven't been there, somewhere in ages. I think I came before to make the occasional offering around harvest season. I gave Care a cheerful look, but he continued forward, ignoring my recollections. I shrugged and followed, quickly catching up with him. Care awkwardly knelt down before the altar, discarding the walking stick once he was comfortable. His eyes closed with a softened scowl, almost as if he was meditating. Suddenly, his mirror-like ears perked and stared directly at the statue. There was no change in atmosphere, but I could tell Care was angry. His hand tightly gripped his knee. I know we're connected. I demand you remove this stupid curse. He fell silent and I looked around in bemusement. He was talking to someone, but I could not hear the other half of the conversation. For some reason, that made me even more attentive as I tried to piece everything together. You can't be serious, so I said a few things, but, yes, I've met one. That's how I found the altar in the first place. He whirled towards me, blinking in confusion, as if studying me for the first time. I stiffened, wondering why he was staring at me so intensely. Once he finally turned away, I relaxed, although I could not help but feel anxious about the discussion. What about me? Annoying. Weak, pathetic, gives strange names to animals, doesn't seem to know much about Ishtera or how the world works. Is he referring to Heavenkind in general or just me? Italic text. What? Or I guess their food is half decent or something. Get out of here, Steam notifications! Go away! There we go. What? No, you're not sending me on a pointless inspirational quest. I'm not a child. I can't even walk in this form. So your plan is... Wha-bam! Blinding light! At that moment, a blinding light flashed from where Care was standing, and I flinched in shock. Whoa, Care? By the time I had knelt down and worryingly grabbed his shoulder, the flash had already disappeared. In one smooth movement, Care removed my hand and stood up without the walking stick. His eyes still seemed focused beyond me, and he slowly nodded to himself. Did your powers return or something? He extended his palm and lurched towards the ground, slamming it against the hard stone. The entire cave shook. The tremor visibly and mentally shook me as well, and my heart pounded loudly. I felt so paralyzed that I couldn't even scream. Once I found my balance, I looked bewilderedly at Care, who smugly flexed his unharmed fingers. I stared curiously at his cocksure expression. So... He barely glanced in my direction. It's not exactly what I wanted, however, a portion of my original powers and strength are back, along with my balance. I can actually be comfortable in this form now. He gave a dismissive kick to the walking stick, then promptly walked away from the altar. I mustered a small smile. Right! Well, that's promising at least. What will you do next? What he ordered me to do, and become normal again.
I don't need your help.
I don't need your help. Well, excuse me, Mr. Sassy Pants. I can handle this on my own. Ah. So you don't need to follow me. I had to anyways. There was only one way out of the cave. But as soon as we were open air, Kira took off running with a grace and speed I'm sure no real Havenkind could ever replicate. I blinked once, and sure enough, I was alone. I scratched the back of my head, still absorbing what just happened. You're welcome? Burying my head in my hands, I shook my hair in She shook her hair in frustrations, not her head, her hair. Like just her hair. That takes some real skill. Was I expecting something from this? Well, a thank you would have been nice. Tapped my sword hilt for reassurance. That's what a knight does. They help the weak and demonstrate their generosity when it is needed. Well, Care's not weak anymore. He can definitely take care of himself now. Guess my duty is done. Right, mission accomplished. Just some experience as a reward and a discarded walking stick. Deciding not to linger any longer, I started walking back towards Barry. My parents would certainly be worried by now. Chapter 2. As I set my container back on the desk. Welcome back. I trekked back through the forest, careful to avoid any more wild animals. Where's my... Oh. It's like where I had a coaster because one of the glasses I was using was leaking. It's still really loud. Okay, never mind. That didn't help. When I reached the spot where I previously set up camp, I decided to take a quick break to eat. I unwrapped my bread and cheese, poking half-heartedly at the grainy texture as I started the remains of the campfire. I was about to take a bite. I had an odd feeling of discomfort and glanced sideways. Am I really imagining things? I sighed. Care, I know you're there. You don't have to hide. There was only silence at first, but I heard a slight rustle and turned my head again. Seriously, you just moved to another location. I hope you weren't going to wait until I was asleep to steal my stuff.
Shut up!
Shut up! Shut up, Mom! I wasn't planning to do anything like that. Care reluctantly emerged from behind one of the bigger trees. His expression looked conflicted, and I could tell he did not want to be with me again. ... Welcome back. Did you miss me? No, but then I realized I wouldn't be able to find the next altar without you. Well, you're out of luck. I don't know the whereabouts of any other dragon caves, nor am I carrying more apple tarts if you're hungry. There really is no reason to stick with me. You'll need to get another guide, or find someone else that can help you. But I want to go through the trouble of finding anyone else, at least until I get my bearings. I have no clue where to go from here. Small idea formed in my head. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I assume that I was kind of confused when she went, but I guess the italics text is her thinking. Wait, perhaps I could accompany Care to Oliver. If I explain the situation to Mom, maybe she'll consider writing me the night recommendation letter. Right. Then, if you'd like, I'll accompany you to Barry. From there, we can travel to Oliver. It's a huge city. You could probably find directions to other altars there. Does that sound acceptable? He grumbled in agreement and sat down on the falling log I was using, but near the edge to leave plenty of space between us. Look, my master also asked for me to interact with Havenkind more. And I've already been with you long enough. Nice to know I'm tolerable to be around. And your master doesn't seem that bad. He has an interest in working with Havenkind. I guess he didn't like it when one of his pupils didn't share the same point of view. I grinned wearily. At least he was kind enough to curse you with some clothes. I didn't think dragons normally wore clothes. Is that a spell or are those genuine articles? Care tugged at his shirt as if suddenly aware of it. I think it's a spell. It won't wear off or anything, will it? He scoffed. I assure you the spell won't wear off for my clothes. It's just that I don't want to glance back. I don't know. Heat of battle. that I don't want to glance back in, I don't know, the heat of battle and catch, in the heat of battle, they left out a word! And catch you stark naked. It kind of just threw me off.
Shut up!
Shut up, Mom!